Hi there guys, Kate back here and welcome to my channel. So today we are visiting Basel, and Basel is the third largest city in the northern Switzerland, bordering with both Germany and France. It's right by the river Rhine that you can see right behind me, and this river divides the city into two sides. So there's one side that I'm standing on right now that's called the Groß Basel. So from German it's a big Basel. And the side that you see right behind me is the Klein Basel, so called the small Basel. So both sides are connected by 6 different bridges, and you can either take a bridge, walk on the bridge, or take a public transportation, drive through the bridge, or you can take a ferry. Both ways are super exciting, so today we're gonna try one. Basel SBB railway station is a central railway station in Basel. It was opened in 1854, but was completely rebuilt and reopened in 1907. It is the Europe's busiest international border station. Basel is the capital of the Swiss canton of Basel-Stadt. It was originally a Celtic settlement of Ruraside tribe. Celtic refers to Irish culture and heritage, historical people who migrated from the British Isles throughout much of Europe. The earliest mention of the city in its former name Basilium comes from ancient documents dating all the way back to 374 BC, so more than 2,000 years ago. Basel joined the Swiss Confederacy as its 11th canton in 1501, and it was one and only canton that was actually asked to join the Confederacy and not the other way around. The city has been a commercial hub and an important cultural center of the Renaissance. It has emerged as a center of chemical and pharmaceutical industries in the 20th century. Both Hoffmann La Roche and Novartis, the giants of pharma, are headquartered here in Basel. The city of Basel enjoys some of the highest standards of living in the world. According to Mercer's ranking, Basel is ranked number 3 in Switzerland after Zurich and Geneva, and number 10 in the world. Basel is the part of the German-speaking area of Switzerland. But if coming to Basel you realized you don't understand the German here, don't be surprised. People here speak Swiss German, and it's a dialect that is very hard to understand for German speakers, and the dialect that is widely spoken in Basel called Baslerdisch. Basel is widely regarded as the cultural capital of Switzerland, and I think this name is well deserved. Basel is famous for its 40 museums, so city proudly presents you with 40 museums, a fairly large number for the size of the city. Basel is a city on the Rhine, and it has a fairly Mediterranean climate with more than 300 days of sunshine. So as temperatures allowed, people of Basel love outdoors. In fact, people of Basel love nothing more than swimming in the Rhine. Thanks to the airtight bags that many of the locals carry with them, so they put their clothes and other items that cannot get wet into the airtight bags and swim back home or potentially to work. So the stream becomes full of color, the city turns into this wonderful beach. Alright guys, so the church right behind me is the Basel Minster, and the exciting part about Basel Minster is the fact that it was consecrated in 1019. So the church was consecrated 1,000 years ago. The building is not 1,000 years old because after an earthquake in 1356 it was rebuilt, but some of it at least, I bet it is 1,000 years old. If not all of it, then the fact that it's already 700 years old or so is very impressive. Basel Minster is probably one of the most famous landmarks in Basel, with its twin towers, sandstone walls, and colorful roof tiles. The building was built between the years of 1019 and 1500. It was primarily built in Romantic and Gothic styles. The Cathedral Piazza, the square that we're standing on right now, is a center today, popular meeting place, and often holds concerts and other events. Fun fact about the church is about its two towers. So you can see the two towers right here, and an interesting fact, they have two different names. So one of them is named Georg and the other is Martin. So the northern tower is called Georg and it's 64.2 meters high, and the southern tower called Martin and it's 62.7 meters high. So they're actually different, and the towers are named after Georg and Martin. They are saints of the knights. Yes, these kind of knights. Let's now take a walk around the Basel Old Town. That's one of the most well-preserved and the prettiest cities in Europe. You will be surprised with the variety of architecture that is unparalleled by any other city in the world. On every corner you will find buildings dating back as far as 15th century. You can clearly witness German and French architectural influence. And later you will see here and there mixed some of the most fabulous modern buildings designed by the world-renowned architects. Thanks to the compact size of the old town, it's ideal to discover it by foot or take a bike. In many of the city fountains, you will see the coats of arms of Basel. So the image that you can see there, it looks like a hat. It's not a hat. I also thought it was a hat. It's a staff used by bishops of Basel, also known as crozier. And crozier is the long wooden pole with a golden curved upper part. The image was used clearly to signify that you are entering a district under the pastoral care of a bishop in the Christian church. This is the old market square of the city. And now moving to my personal favorite, the City Hall. It's one of the most beautiful buildings here in Basel, I believe. The City Hall is a seat to Basel government and its parliament. It's a treasure in the midst of the old town. It's particularly eye-catching red facade, colorful roof tiles, and playful frescoes, with the final touch that I personally love, the tower. It was originally built between 1504 and 1514, so in essence it's a 500-year-old building. Visiting Rathaus or City Hall is definitely worth your while, not only for the building itself, but also for its gorgeous inner courtyard. Rathaus literally means council house, while Rothus, in the local Basel German dialect, it means both the council house and also it sounds like the red house, a fun pun for the red sandstone facade of the building. If you're still not convinced, let me give you another fact. There is a statue to the founder of the city, Lucius Menoetius Plancus. Probably mispronounced it. So years between 44 and 43 BC, that's the foundation of Roman settlement, Augusta Raurica, by Roman general Lucius Menoetius Plancus, who is considered a founder of the city. Basel has a history of supporting public art since 1661, when city purchased works by artists like Hans Holbein. The Basel Art Museum, Kunstmuseum Basel, houses the largest public art collection in Switzerland. Today, the museum collection spans from early 15th century to the present day, with paintings by Van Gogh, Picasso, and Braque. Yet another treasure on our way, the Spalentor, or the Gate of Spalen. This is the most magnificent of the three remaining city gates from the city fortification from 1400s. The Spalen Gate is former city gate, which is a part of ancient city walls of Basel. The gate, considered one of the most beautiful of the whole country, is a landmark of the city and the monument of the Swiss national heritage. The gate is decorated with numerous sculptures and other ornaments. As time's gone by, many important supplies entered the city through this gate. The facade facing away from the city is decorated from figures dating back to 15th century, the Madonna and two prophets. It is no longer a secret that Basel is also a gourmet city. City boasts over 20 restaurants that have won Gourmet and Michelin awards. A botanical garden of Basel. A wonderful quiet oasis away from the hassle and bustle of the city, where you can always take a break for free. As many things in Switzerland, the entrance into Botanical Garden is also free. A wonderful refreshment after spending enormous amounts on everything else. So Basel is the point at which Germany, France, and Switzerland converge. A unique meeting place of three countries, languages, and cultures. From here you can literally walk to France for breakfast, if you're a fan of croissants, and finish it up with a beer from Germany, if you're a fan of that too. So this striking border triangle creates this wonderful mix of architectures making it an architectural haven for those that are fans of any of the three, Swiss, German, or French architecture. Another precious monument in the city of Basel, Mittelbrücke. Mittelbrücke is the bridge that became a symbol of the city. It was opened in 1226. It's one of the oldest Rhine crossings between Lake Constance and North Sea. Mittelbrücke was initially used for local traffic in the 14th century. It gained significance as a crossing over the Rhine for international trade. With the advent of electric trams, the old bridge had to make way to the new Mittelbrücke in 1905, with a copy of the old bridge chapel, where in the Middle Ages convicted criminals were sentenced to death by drowning. Today we will cross the bridge to get to the Klein Basel. In late Middle Ages, the Rhine city was filled with high dignitaries and foreigners for the church council. Basel hosted it from 1431 to 1448. I take it that in Middle Ages it was like Olympics today, sort of like a big deal. So one of the dignitaries was Pope Pius II, who founded Switzerland's first university in Basel in 1460. The university opened with the Mass held in Basel Minster on 4th of April 1416. It has undergone dynamic development ever since its inception. During the first years of its founding, the university register in Basel listed 226 students and lecturers. Today, with the 7 faculties, have 13,000 students and 350 professors. So university has gone a long way since its inception. And now to the economics of the city. So why is the city so wealthy? So it owes a lot to its history and the luck of its location. So let's start with the 16th century. In 16th century, immigrants arrived from northern Italy and France, in particular religious refugees, including some of the well-known representatives of the silk trade. As a result, Basel developed into an international center of the silk ribbon industry. This dominated the city's economy well into the 19th century. It was complemented with various commerce in cloth, cotton, iron, and some colonial produce. By the outbreak of the First World War, Basel developed from a small fortified town and the medium-sized, respectable industrial city. The most important industry that Basel is known for today, the chemical pharmaceutical industry, began with the J.R. Geigy pharmacy in 1758 and arguably the dye production of Alexander Clavel in 1859. The concentration process has since been underway and has created the global groups Geiger, Ciba, and Sandoz. They merged together to form Novartis in 1996. It's important to remember that pharmaceutical industry is also important for Switzerland as a whole. In Switzerland, it employs about 135,000 people. It accounts for 5.7% of Swiss gross domestic product and over 30% of country's exports. In 2017, these exports were close to $85 billion. In the same year, Switzerland was the second largest exporter of packaged medicine in the world. Tinguely Fountain. In 1977, Jean Tinguely created sculptural machines in a fountain where stage of the Old City Theatre Company once stood. And in the process, he gave Basel one of its most famous new landmarks. The Swiss artist lined the shallow fountain with black asphalt and created inside mechanical figures powered by the low voltage current who appeared to be playing in the water. These 10 figures are in constant motion, as if in conversation with each other. It's very playful and lovely. The Elizabethan Church in Basel city center. This church was constructed between 1857 and 1865, was the first Protestant church to be built in Basel since the Reformation. It now acts as a cultural meeting place for people from all walks of life, regardless of their origins, race, or religion. It is no ordinary church, hosting events such as fashion shows, company banquets, panel discussions on current affairs, and more. Church has a bar on its premises. It serves assortment of alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks alike. So in terms of our experience here, we absolutely loved it. The city is gorgeous. There is a great mix of French and German architecture. What really amazed me was just the fact that it's just never ending. No matter where you go, like every corner would open on something beautiful. It's very difficult to go to your planned destination. You would always want to digress. So would highly recommend it. It's a beautiful place. If you have a chance, definitely come to check it out. Alright guys, so that would be all for today's video. Thank you for staying till the end. Subscribe, like if you liked it. See you soon.